goodness.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. The receiver ran into the defender. Well, that's my viewpoint of it.
I don't think that's going to be the officials' viewpoint.
It's not, because there's a yellow hanky hanging around the 2-yard line. Here's the call.
You can hear the fans not happy with that call.
They're no more unhappy than I am, Nick. Pass interference again against the Ruffers, as it was late in the first half. That'll put the ball at the 11-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10.
This one, in my mind, not as definitive as that last one.
So now out of a 1st and 10, play action again, looking to run, looking to throw to the end zone high. Penalty flags are down. Maybe an eligible receiver downfield.
Yep, I think that's going to be the
pass
call.
was complete to Talon Kendrick in the end zone for what would be a score, but the officials are bringing this one back. Stillwater fans celebrating. A crucial penalty against the Pioneers. The ineligible receiver downfield will back the play up to the 16. It'll be 1st and 15 for Stillwater. 42 seconds left on. Buckle up, folks. We're going to the wire. Play action, throw it up high to the end zone. It is long, it is caught, it is out of bounds. And another flag comes out of the hip pocket from the side judge.
Way up the field.
And way after the play. That's going to be against the Ruffers because they're already moving the chains.
But the discussion may be whether that was a catchable pass or not.
Well, there is a discussion between the officials on the field. Distance to the goal, 36 seconds left in regulation. Still 1st down. Pioneers have it at the 8-yard line. Twin receivers out wide to the right. Acord will call the snap. He'll hand it off to Thompson, darting to his left. Submarina tackled at the 6-yard line.
Tim Moore's there, I see.
Tim Moore's over there, but so are his teammates. Anthony White, I think, was the guy that got at the ankles of the quarterback, or the running back, stopping him at the 6. Stillwater will spend its 2nd timeout of the half. Let's pause 30 seconds. Muskogee 28, Stillwater 20, back after this on Run for Football 2023. The 2023 football season comes down to 2 plays.
We talked about it. We talked about it at halftime. Last possession. 1 possession, just like we said it would be. 2nd and
5 from the 6-yard line. Pioneers out of the timeout have their play call, their personnel they want in a situation. Jones and Tucker to the right. Play action, throw it out in space to the big tight end, pushing forward, short of the goal line at the 3. Pioneers now going to have to hurry. They'll spend the timeout, it'll be their final. But a good open field tackle that time by the Ruffer defender. Stopping forward short at the 3-yard line. Had to go to the 1. 3rd down. That's right. Holden Thompson going to get the handoff. He'll get a block on the edge, and he'll rumble in for the touchdown.
Keep in mind, though, that missed extra point by Stillwater earlier now looms big because they have to go for 2.
A 65-yard drive that comes down to the final 20 seconds.
Thompson with that run caps the 200-yard mark.
Acord is out.
That's a Wildcat with Kendrick in there.
Kendrick and Holden Thompson. The game on the line here. And now a timeout taken by Stillwater. Their final. Their last timeout. This game here, Nick, comes down for the Pioneers to 1 play. Just as it did a week ago in Ponca City.
Getting ready to say, brings back memories of last week. Remember last week in this situation, Deer Creek was ready to settle for the kick, which would have tied the game, but the Roughers jumped offside twice, moved the ball inside the 1, and the Antlers went for the conversion and didn't get it.
Each team this afternoon has been penalized 8 times. 2 big pass interference penalties on the Roughers. An ineligible receiver downfield against Stillwater in this drive that took the points off the board, but then the Pioneers able to finish it on the run by Holden Thompson. And now Stillwater has one play to try and tie the score.
So will they wildcat it with Kendrick, as they have been?
Kendrick and Thompson are the 2 guys in the backfield. They'll load up the box to the left. Kendrick's going to keep it, duck back to his left. He fights, he stretches. He's short, he's short, he's short. He didn't get it. The ball is loose. The Roughers recover. They'll take over. Stillwater will have, Nick Hampton, a chance for an onside kick. But once again, the Rougher defenders stop it.
Hard to tell who actually was there, because
from the reaction of the players coming off the field, no doubt Tion Brewer was there. A host of green jerseys. Everybody has laid it all on the turf here this afternoon.
They just submarined that play from the beginning, and there was nowhere for Kendrick to go.
So now 20 seconds left. Stillwater will have one last gasp opportunity, Nick.
Just
on an onside
like
kick.
Last week. Remember last week, Deer Creek executed the onside kick, kicked it perfectly, recovered the ball, but it was ruled they touched it inches before it went 10 yards, and it didn't count. Roughers got it.
Well, my friend Scott Bettis, who's been a part of a lot of broadcasts over the years, 2 of us alongside many times in our times at Northeastern State, tuning in, listening this afternoon, and yes, Scotty, it is daggum sure exciting here in Edmond.
Well, you know the Roughers are going to be prepared because they were last week, saw this same situation, so they know what to expect.
So for the Stillwater Pioneers with a 28-20 advantage. So for the Stillwater Pioneers with a 28-26 score staring them in the face, have to convert on an onside kick. Here's the kick, the big bounce, ball loose, it's on the turf. There's a fight for it. Roughers appear to have it. We do! Roughers have it! Roughers have it! Roughers have it! And who else but Big Play McGee on the recovery? Roughers will have the football, and yes, Virginia, after 37 years, there will be gold in Muskogee.
Wow, that's all I can say.
There will be gold.
There was some doubt there. That ball was on the ground an awful long time before McGee was able to get over and scoop it up finally.
Nick, you got to stand up and look down below us. The home stands on the UCO sideline are filled with Rougher fans. Touchdown on the knee by Jamarian Ficklin. And Travis Hill, you've got another goal ball. And the Muskogee Roughers today fulfill their dream and will finish the season as the 2023 Class 6A2 state champions. Hello again, everybody. Bill Huddelston with the head coach of the Muskogee Roughers, Travis Hill, and it is game time for Rougher football in 2024. At the bottom of our screen, it says Ron's Barbecue. Well, tonight, Coach, we're here inside the Trophy Village.
Yeah.
Inside Rougher Village, where tonight's show, because a big 23rd anniversary celebration, big party going on down at Runtz tonight.
Absolutely, and that's great to hear that with Russ and the gang. And I'm sure there's a lot of people down there, and this is going to be a little bit better setting for us tonight.
He wasn't going to let us go without something to munch on. So when we finish up with the show, we got some cheeseburgers that Russell himself cooked up for us tonight.
Absolutely, and I've ate all the other specialties there, so I'm going to get that smoked cheeseburger tonight. I look forward to that.
We are definitely looking forward to it, and of course we're looking forward to the situation of being here with you each and every Tuesday night live from Runt's Barbecue, where it's a little better barbecue. And I think it's a lot better, and it's also the desserts that we're taking home.
Absolutely. Mrs. Hill says bring one home every night.
All right. Let's talk about what's the game at hand. And, of course, that's the start of the 2024 season. Everybody remembers the excitement of that Friday afternoon in Edmond when the Ruffers claimed the gold ball for the first time since 1986.
Yep.
But that's watered down the Arkansas River. It's time to now focus on the guys coming back, the new faces that will make the tradition of Ruffer football continue this season.
Absolutely, and people probably wouldn't believe it if I said I haven't thought about that in at least the last 3 weeks, and we really haven't, Bill, because as you said, it's water underneath the bridge, heading down to the Arkansas, heading over to Arkansas and elsewhere. But it is a new season. We're looking forward to it with a few new faces and an exciting group of kids.
What is the biggest challenge for you and your coaching staff, realizing that you sent 11 players to the college ranks, graduated several others? Now, this year you've got 28 seniors on the roster.
Correct.
But there are going to be a lot of new names making heroic plays for Muskogee offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Absolutely. And so, we really got 3 returning starters on offense and 3 on defense. So, that's 16 kids that you're trying to replace. Here's what's nice about it. We feel like we got a bunch of young men that are quality football players. But there's some of them, even we got a couple that have come from some other programs, and then obviously the other kids, it's just called basically experience. Okay, they have not been under the lights yet. They're not a proven product yet. And as we watched our film from last Thursday at the scrimmage, that's some of the stuff you identify. So for us to sit here and look ourselves and be realistic in a mirror and say we are a potential state champion right now, that's not. But we're not supposed to be. It is early in the year. It is game 1 coming up. But we got some work to do. But we feel like we got the right product, the right young people to get this done.
It's, though, better to be at the top than be trying to climb that ladder, challenging yourself just to get better. That's what you're doing every day with these young men, almost 80 in number, preparing for Friday night's home opener against Tulsa, Washington.
Absolutely, and it is what it is. It's a process, and sometimes as a coach, or especially this coach, patience sometimes, and even the young people, because they want to stay championship. They're expecting success right off the bat.
And so are their fans.
Exactly, and you see that, and they'll be eager, but I do think we got a good grip, and I'm not talking about the coaches. I think even the players of what we're trying to do and the pace and the way we're going about it. So it's going to be exciting. We got to get started. We're not going to get it. We could have another 5 weeks of practice, Bill, and we're not going to get better. It's time to play football.
Play somebody else other than those guys wearing the either white or green jerseys or black jerseys in practice.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, when you come off of a season like that, everybody is looking – you're at the top of the 6A2 polls. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to bring their best shot. But it's not here, especially in these first 3 games on non-conference or non-district action. It's about getting better week by week, play by play.
You sound like me, Bill. No,
I've heard you preach a little bit down there.
but people don't understand. They said, well, so winning's not important. I said, how are you going to win if you don't get better? So there's the term, and that's what our kids know. And I think our young people know if we get better, then we're going to probably go out and win Friday. If we have a tendency to step backwards or not improve in our arenas, then we got a chance to lose. So if we continue to get better through these 3 non-district games, we got the perfect schedule. If I can set it up like this every year, you got your 3 non-districts, you get a bye, and that allows us to clean up any of that type of stuff, recuperate, and then you get into the important part of the year, which is your district play. So we start off with Booker T. Washington here on Friday night.
Now, I know you've been out in the community all throughout the off season, through the spring months and through the summer. And everybody you meet comes up, pats you on the back, and says, Coach, let's go get it again. How much of a burden does that put on the head coach's shoulders that you have to not give to the players?
Yeah, well, it does.
It's not a burden, but it's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility. You can call it what it's a burden, responsibility. It's all of it packed together.
It's nerves and T. Hill's belly, I'll guarantee you.
And I think I'm like that every year, to be quite honest with you. So I don't think it's anything different, but maybe a little bit more excitement behind it or a little bit more of a draw. I don't know how to kind of explain it, but I put so much pressure on myself that I really don't worry about what's going on and what other people think, to be honest with you. That all comes from me, and our coaching staff knows it. They just look at me and laugh because they know I'm going to come in and I'm going to find something wrong. There's something that ain't where it's supposed to be or it's not as good as what it needs to be. So I don't know there's any more added pressure or anything. I do know this. I went to the Exchange Club a couple of weeks ago, and I thought they asked some excellent questions from the crowd about some of those things you just talked about, about, you won it, how do you prepare, is it differently, da-da-da. So, some unique questions and unique ways to answer them. But the bottom line is, Bill, we as a coaching staff, big expectations. The kids have big expectations. That's where it starts. Now we got to learn how to go do it and earn it.
Well, the Ruffers will get a chance to earn it on Friday night at Ruffer Village in front of the home crowd. The Ruffer Regiment will be there loud and proud. The student body is going to be jacked up to the highest degree. We want to make sure that you can get there. Be sure that you pick up your season tickets in advance. You could also buy general admission at the gate, or you can also go online to MuskogeeAthletics.org. You'll be able to find the link that will get you to the online ticketing process as well. We're going to take our first break, and we're going to come back and ask a few questions of the guy who's going to have the responsibility of keeping all the key players and key pieces together defensively. Steve Craver will be our guest with Coach Hill and I when we come back live from Ruffer Village here on the Runts Barbecue Muskogee Ruffer Football Coaches Show.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you will find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick. Wow! New Silverado's 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverado's 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Runts Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Runts Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runts Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runts Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Welcome back. Bill Huddelston along with head coach Travis Hill and our guest in this segment, the defensive coordinator Steve Craver, joining us here on the Runts Barbecue Muskogee Ruffer Football Coaches Show. Typically we're live at Runts, but tonight's 23rd anniversary celebration for Runts, serving the Muskogee area with more than just a little better barbecue.
Absolutely. Muskogee, you don't know how fortunate you are to have Runts in town. That's good stuff.
I know Ruffer Football is proud to have him as one of our partners, and he is probably, if not maybe more so than me and maybe Felicia, the proudest people in Muskogee to have that state championship ring, because he was in tears, Coach, when he received that award like the Ruffers did.
He's probably been waiting for that a while, and so that was good. And sometimes when you hold on to something, you finally get it. It does bring out a few tears, no doubt.
It does make your heart fonder to do it again. Now, the guy who's going to have part of that responsibility, along with Coach Hill, in leading the Ruffers back to the top of 6A2 is the defensive coordinator, Steve Craver. Last year, Steve, in 13 games, gave up an average of right at 17 points per contest, posted 4 shutouts. How are you going to draw those same cards again and do the same thing here in 2024?
It's a great question, Bill. We dang sure going to try. We had great leadership on that defense last year. You mentioned the guys that graduated. We're going to miss those guys, but this is a new season, and so we're going to have some new faces expecting to step up. The standard's going to be the standard, and we're definitely going to try each and every week.
Talk about having to replace those kids and how you're able to bring guys that last year were taking the second team reps and now they're into the spotlight, or some of those guys were in the starting positions or played a lot during this season, and having posted those 4 shutouts and those 17 points or less per ball game average, some of these guys got some primetime action.
Absolutely, Bill. I think, the way I think about it, it's not replacing. We just got to find some guys to step up and raise that standard. And we're excited about that on Friday night and see how these guys do when the lights come on. They're going to have to grow up quick. We took this job 3 years ago, kind of had some new guys that we didn't know who was going to step up and who was going to step up or not. And so we're kind of in that boat right now with some of these new starters. So we're just excited to see where we're at.
It's also nice, though, for these guys that are stepping up into the primetime to have experience with the scheme, the way you play defense, the way the Ruffers play defense, and that's no holds barred, just all-out attack.
Yes, Bill. We've been practicing. Everybody's been practicing in the heat. We've been training these guys.
Yeah, it was a little cool out there today, right?
It was a little cooler today, if you want to look at it that way. But those guys, the expectation does not change. We want to reload. We don't want to, restart again. And so we're coaching those guys with the same amount of urgency, same expectation as the guys that are graduated, and that don't change each and every year. That's the standard around here.
How nice is it for you to have the relationship with Coach Hill, knowing that his first love for football comes from the defensive side of the football?
Oh, it helps tremendously. It helps me to grow as a man. It helps me to grow professionally, and then it helps me grow personally. It sets me up for the future, and so any game that I can get from Coach Hill or other guys on the staff, there ain't a dumb question for me. I want to definitely grow, and these guys are helping me do that.
Kind of nice to have an eager guy kind of like that. That's what the eagerness you want from your players too, Hill.
Absolutely. Got to know Steve a while back. We're not going to tell the whole story. We've told it before, but we are fortunate, and he holds people accountable. He does a great job, and probably as you get to be an older coach as me, from the mentor side of it, it's important. It means a lot to me to see these guys succeed, see other guys I've coached with me succeed, much less your players. So Steve's going to be a great hand for a long time, and I just hope we hold on to him right here until I decide to hang it up.
Defensive front was very effective last year on every down. I mean, you could come off the edge, you could hold the line of scrimmage, let the linebackers get to the football. Who are some of these names that we expect to hear those type of highlight performances from here as the 24 campaign begins?
I think a name you will hear, Jack Green has stepped up. We're asking him to do, kind of take a place of what Vernon was doing for us last year. I think you'll hear JoJo name a little bit in there. JoJo Alexander, we're expecting him to grow up really, really fast. He was with us last year, his freshman year, and so he got a chance to see it from the sideline.
He's got those size 14 feet, too.
He's a big guy. And then you got Kyron Cope. We got PJ. We got PJ Wallace, our newcomer. We got some other guys that are going to step up, and we're going to expect a lot of them.
A couple of guys that you didn't mention that certainly had highlight reel moments from time to time at linebacker Timmy Moore and also Coda Barnowski.
We're looking for them. We're looking for a big year from them, not only from a standpoint of linebacker play, but from a leadership standpoint. Those guys have been in the fire. And the good thing about some of the guys that we're expecting to be leaders, they were young at one point in time, so they can relate to be thrown in the fire and not be as ready, but had to learn on the fly. And so they understand the process, and we're expecting them to be leaders.
A good card dealer has 52 cards in his deck that he wants to deal out the right winning hand. It starts up front with the defensive line. You've got some guys up there that have got a little bit of size to them, got a little nasty to them that want to make contact. You got the linebacking core. We talked about a few of those guys. But then in today's game of high school, or today's game of football at all levels, you better be solid on the back end, otherwise you're going to be burnt toast.
That's exactly why I'm back there. We want to keep everything in front. Anthony White is only returning starter. We got Andre Beasley, E.J. James has some playing time, but these guys are going to be full-time starters for us. They're going to have to start the game and finish the game in every situation that we're in, and so we're coaching them hard. We're expecting a lot from those guys as well.
Are you ready to measure up for another gold ball and another state championship ring?
Why not, Bill? Why not do it if you don't want to do it that way? I mean, even in the first year, we would realistically, but you coach because you want to get hot and get in and win your last game, and so we're going to approach that every single year.
Steve Craver, the defensive coordinator for the Ruffers, along with Coach Travis Hill and myself, we're going to take a timeout, give you a chance to meet two of the names that will become household names within Ruffer Nation. A new name, P.J. Wallace, and a familiar face, Latavian Johnson. They'll join us in our next segment from the Runts Barbecue Football Coaches Show here tonight from Ruffer Village.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
I mean, she comes back Thursday. I got to pick up a lawnmower. I saw you. I could see it, but I didn't.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers. Welcome back on the Muskogee Ruffer Runts Barbecue Coaches Show each and every Tuesday night. Typically, Coach, we've already mentioned this before, we are live at Runts Barbecue. Tonight we're coming to you from Ruffer Village, and we're coming to you in this segment with two guys that I know there are very high expectations for great effort, both sides of the football.
Absolutely. Just real quick, and I'd love for the kids to be doing a lot more, the players to do a lot more talking than me, but P.J. Wallace come on board from Bartlesville, short and sweet. A lot of people know that. Latavian Johnson, our tailback last year, they'll be sharing that position. They'll both get a ton of carries, but they're both going to be obviously big benefits for us on defense too. Latavian's going to make a great Mike linebacker for us. We feel like he could be very, very special there, and PJ will come in and play our rougher position for us on the defense side of the football. Kind of early right now, probably more in the fact of a long down situation, but he'll be involved with us very much. It's a long year as the year progresses. But so two great football players, two good people. Let's give them the mic.
Gentleman on the far side there wore the jersey number 4. He'll wear that same jersey again here in the 2024 campaign. many people did not know that Latavian Johnson played all of last year with a very hampered knee situation. LJ, what was your driving force once the season was over, once the celebration had calmed down and you had your state championship medal to put around your neck? What was your driving force to get through the surgery and through the recovery area to be ready to go when the 2024 campaign starts?
So we're going to start off with after the season, right? All my mindset was on getting healthy because, playing with a torn ACL, I was supposed to have surgery way back, but like I said, God gave me the chance to play on it and go through it. So after the season was over, scheduled my surgery right away. Well, tried to schedule my surgery right away. Got it done December 21st, and ever since then, like I said in previous interviews, I got pushed by my coaches, teammates, trainers, my physical therapy, especially my grandma. So
yeah,
she wouldn't let me.
She was going to give you any slack. She gives you less slack than Coach Hill does.
Yeah, no, not at all. But yeah, so it was a driving point in my it was a driving point in my life, which I had to get over, and getting healthier, getting better. I got it week by week. It was just getting stronger, and stronger. And then when it got to a point where I could get out there and start showing my skills off, I felt like a different dude, way different dude than last year.
Tell me about how you and the gentleman to your right, P.J. Wallace, have bonded together, because Coach has already called this thunder and lightning, and it'll be in a defensive bottle sometimes, it'll be in an offensive bottle many times. How have you guys kind of made that one situation come to pass?
We've been knowing each other since, what you want to say, like seventh grade?
Yeah,
seventh grade, sixth grade, one of the two. We played against each other for sure. Every time we played against each other, it's just been a respect game. We'd be like, oh my God, I gotta tackle him, because either I'm on defense and I gotta tackle him, then he's on defense, he gotta tackle me. So it was a good respect. And then when I learned that he was, coming to Muskogee, it wasn't like a thing where I gotta step my game up. I'm trying to beat him for this spot. I'm like, this just opened up a whole new thing for Muskogee. We got Bird back there that can throw the ball, but when you got two good running backs that can run the ball, you can't stop it. So you pack the box up, you try to stop the run. We got a great quarterback back there, great receivers that just going to throw the ball and get completion.
Well, let's give everybody a chance to meet the guy that everybody inside the Rougher camp just calls PJ. That's not PBJ, peanut butter and jelly, even though there's a lot of those sandwiches Coach eat in the locker room. But having a guy come into the camp that has tortured the Roughers the last two seasons in matchups against Bartlesville, and if my numbers were right, PJ, a little over 3,300 yards rushing your first 2 years on the high school level. What was it that made you want to become a Muskogee Rougher here for your senior season?
Yeah, winning culture. I could tell every time we played them, it was just always a winning culture, and basically just that, always wanting to win.
It's always nice when a guy wants to come into your camp and bring the type of game that he brings. And like I said, Coach, he gave the Rougher defense all they wanted the last two times they've gone head-to-head.
Absolutely. Very, very fortunate. And, of course, for people to know, the transitioning now with players to another program has become a little easier, for lack of better words, to do it. But PJ's down. We're excited about it. I could sit here and talk for a long time about these two. I want them to really have the mic. But very, very fortunate. And I'm going to leave it from the head coaching standpoint. This could be conflictual. It's not. It's neat. It's cool to watch that. And basically, LJ has the best way to explain it with his now. Whenever if we are up big, PJ be coming off field at running back, but I want it linebacker. But it's really unique. So it's been good. You've heard they know each other. So I'll kind of leave it there and let them continue to move forward with it. But no, to have PJ on board makes us a great football team. Not only because we have another great tailback. It allows the free Latavian to go up and play and be I think what's going to be a sensational Mike backer.
PJ, talk about your experiences growing up playing football. Now, you were wearing the blue of Bartlesville, and I asked you earlier before we came on the show, do you remember that first handoff you took when you were just under the weight level to be able to play in the first grade? And from the video clip that I saw, I've seen some of these same moves the last 2 years when you were on the high school gridiron and you ended up in the end zone.
Yeah, it was rough. I always had to get in my underwear in front of both of the teams to just make weight. It was horrible. But it was a great – I love Bartlesville, of course, but I've got better things going here.
Tell me about how you describe your style of play, because from the opposite side looking at you, dude, you were a brute force. How do you describe yourself as a ball carrier and then also as a defensive player?
As a ball carrier, I feel like I fight for, after yards, getting tackled.
Yak yards, yards after contact.
Yeah. And then defense, really just speed. I got speed. Getting around linemen and D-line, basically.
Okay.
Speed.
Now, on the defensive side, when you're going to come off that rougher edge, I've seen you zero in, and you kind of look like you're a bull in a china closet.
Yeah.
Obviously an aggressive type player, Coach.
Yeah.
Very much so. And like I said, still learning on that side of the football. Still learning, still getting better on a daily basis. But, again, it's fun to watch. He's an impact player. Coach Hill's smart enough to know win games with Jimmys and Joes, and so we got a Jimmy and a Joe, I guess, right over here to our
We
left.
definitely got Thunder and Lightning. I don't know which one's going to impact the contest from what side of the field throughout the year. He talked about his style of play. LJ, describe yourself as a football player.
As a football, I'm gonna start with what he said. Offensive, running back. I'm more of a patient and then hit it type of person. I'm gonna answer it for PJ because he didn't get it. He's a downhill, he doesn't care. He's gonna run you over. Yes, he's going to run you over.
Bulldozer.
Or hurdle, since he's posting them clips. But running back wise, I'm patient, then hit it type of guy. Defensive wise, working on my steps right now, but I'm downhill.
What's the toughest thing for you at middle linebacker?
Toughest thing is I say just getting myself right. Anybody can, well, I wouldn't say anybody, but most people that get on the field, they can go hit, make tackles and stuff. I gotta identify if it's a run or a pass. Linebackers that I'm noticing now, we run first. It's always run first and then drop for pass. So that's kind of what it is right there. They can run drags. You gotta communication pretty much. Because I'm not a vocal guy really on the field. Bird's really that on offense. But when you get to the defense side of the ball, you got to have communication wherever you go.
All right. Hey, these are going to be two key factors. We'll meet a lot more of those as the year goes on. But it's nice to have number 4 and the young man that will wear number 20, just like he's always worn from the first time he carried the football in the first grade. In a video clip I saw from Frank earlier today, we're going to give you a chance to see that in our pregame show on Friday night. But, Coach, nice to have 4 and 20 helping to put maybe 24 points on the board, too.
Absolutely. It's one real quick on PJ on number 20. So, number 20 was a medium jersey. Okay. So, thank goodness we did buy new white jerseys this year, and it went up to a large. But the other one's going to have little inserts in them. Okay. So, we had to enlarge them.
It was going to look like a medium otherwise,
It would have been a little tight.
Well, you'll get a chance to know these guys up close and personal throughout the 2024 campaign when you come out and support Muskogee River football. P.J. Wallace, Latavian Johnson, don't forget them, because they won't let you forget as well. Back with more. Coach Hill and I will talk about the season opening opponent, the Hornets of Booker T. Washington. That after this time out of the Runts Barbecue, Muskogee River Coach of the Show.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember, ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Proud to be a Muskogee Rougher, Honda of Muskogee.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Our super friendly staff is here to give you the best value with honest and fair service. Call 918-68-HONDA or go to HondaMuskogee.com.
In the heart of Oklahoma, with Honda of Muskogee.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Nobody beats the All-Star team. Now with 2 locations right here in Muskogee, Oklahoma. From the moment you walk through our door, you'll be treated like family. Now that our inventory and brands have doubled, there is no need that we can't meet. We've got you covered whether you're looking for a brand new Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, or a pre-owned make and model of any kind. We cater the car buying experience to fit your life and your budget and your circumstances. So why wait? For any and all of your vehicle needs, simply no one beats the All-Star team. Thanks for listening, Muskogee. Have a great game and go Ruffers.
Welcome back. We're inside Ruffer Village. Typically on a Tuesday night from 6:30 to 7, we're live at Runt's Barbecue, where it's a whole lot better barbecue and great desserts and a great atmosphere. We invite you to join us. Still got plenty of time to rush down tonight if you haven't had your evening meal, and treat yourself to Runt's Barbecue, because it is the 23rd anniversary. And Coach, what that means, I mean, Russell didn't beat around the bush. He said it's easy. 23% off the menu price.
Good stuff.
Except for the all-you-can-eats.
Okay.
So that leaves Anthony Magnac.
Yeah, he's out.
He's out. We'll be there next Tuesday night from 6:30 to 7, as well as here on Ruffer TV and on our radio partner, Okie Country 101.7 KTFX. Coach, time now to talk about football. Time now to talk about game 1.
Yeah.
Tulsa, Washington. They have a new head football coach. They have a whole new spirit amongst the Hornets' nest.
Absolutely. There was a scrimmage team last week, and and played Booker T in the year where they were probably on their downward swing when we got a chance to play them. So we both got the lesser of the 2 programs, so to speak. In this case, let's talk about Booker T. No, they're highly spirited. Dan Bitson on board, has been around, a well-known coach at the collegiate level, been over at the University of Tulsa in their operations department, I believe, for the last 6 or 7 years. Has stepped back down to go be a high school football coach at Booker T. Dan is he held all the records over at the University of Tulsa in the receiving deal until just a couple of years ago. Great athlete, great football player himself, and I think he's done a great job with what little we've seen him right now preparing the Booker T Hornets. They look like a brand new football team, an excited football team.
It's a football program that has a very tradition-rich history.
Yeah.
And going 2-8 won't cut the mustard, so to speak, if you're a Hornets football fan.
No, I don't know that's – I'd have to look into the archives, but I don't know that's ever happened, to be honest with you. But the bygones will be bygones. They're back, okay?
That's right.
We got a chance to watch them a week ago, and they're still a growing program. They got a lot of young kids still. I mean, it's a young football team. But, boy, you can see all the energy that Coach Bitson's brought with him and the new staff, and they got some great football players too. So I think defensively is their strength. We haven't got into that yet. But offensively, like any Booker T Hornet team, have some kids that can take it to the house. And they just look well coached right now. I mean, I was just impressed watching them, the way they handle themselves on the field, off the field. And so I think we're in for a heck of a football game.
Friday night, it's the season opener for both teams. It's the home opener for the Ruffers in 2024. You know, this place behind us is going to be just ecstatic with energy.
Yep.
How do you keep the players' energy level from going too far off the radar in focusing on their job at hand and taking care of business? And when they turn off the lights, it says Ruffers win.
Yeah, it's a process that we as we prep all week long. Those are things that are mentioned and brought forth throughout the practice, much less a little pregame or a little pre-practice things that we have, and obviously post-practice. So they're mentioned. We talk about them. They'll be even more drawn in and brought a little closer as we get ready to prepare on Thursday, as far as the last preparation part of it, the prep part of it. So there's nothing special you do besides bring it to their attention. It's no different than another football game. But I will agree with you, Bill. I think there's a lot of excitement about this football game all of a sudden, because I don't think everybody early said, it's Booker T's kids, a little this, a little that. But now that they've seen them produce and they've gone through their summer program, I think the city and community of Tulsa is excited and will be heading down this way, the Booker T. Hornet fans. And I think obviously Muskogee being excited coming off the state championship. I think we'll have a great environment out here Friday night and an exciting environment with two dynamic football teams.
Rougher Regiment's going to be loud on that north end zone, and you know the Hornet Band is going to bring a lot of energy to the stands. But let's talk about the keys for the Roughers. As you look at it, looking at your football team, and I think every coach does, in these first couple of non-district contests, it's not so much about the opponent, it's about what you do. And you've got to do what you do it to your best, and hope that that's good enough.
No, and that's true. It's so true. I mean, I think both teams, and I'm going to speak to the Muskogee Roughers, come in pretty what we would call plain vanilla, so to speak. What we don't want to do is make mistakes and beat ourselves. But, you know, I think, like I mentioned earlier, Booker T's defense is excellent. So we got a very explosive Muskogee offense back with what I consider the best quarterback in this state. I can't go any farther than that because I don't evaluate other states. But in this one here, an extremely talented young man, and with the Muskogee Roughers quarterback Jamarian Bird Ficklin. So that'd be a great matchup between these two because, like I said, defensive front up there, they're very good. I think we're very solid on the offensive line. So there's where it all starts up front. Defensively, like I said, we got a lot of growing up still to do. So it'd be interesting to see from a scrimmage, see that the work that's been done that hopefully will continue to get better. And Booker T's offense is like this. They got, and I'm always have been horrible with names on the teams, but the tailback's excellent. Now I want to say he's number 33.
Right.
He was last year. Okay, he's a guy that every time he touches the football, he can take it to the house. He can reverse the field. Whatever, very explosive football player. Going to be a junior. They got a couple of wideouts
they got a couple of junior running backs, Caleb Barnes, and I think the key man you're talking about is Michael Washington.
Michael Washington, I believe, is correct. Okay, so those two kids are fantastic. Like I said, at the wideout position, they got a couple of dynamic football players, and probably where they're struggling a little bit is just up front on the offensive line. I mean, it's new kids that haven't had a lot of playing time, so. That's probably their only area that you would say, hey, that's not an old Booker T. Washington team. They got a lot of talent out there, Bill.
Well, it ought to be exciting. We're looking forward to it on Friday night. We want to remind you can still get your tickets in advance. Come into the athletic department. Reserved seats are available for all 5 home games, $75, and you'll be able to pick your seats. And then, of course, you can buy tickets at the gate and as well as online. But we want to see you at Rougher Village Friday night. Pre-game show on our Rougher TV and radio broadcast will be at 6:30 with live kickoff with the Roughers setting to go against the Hornets of Tulsa, Washington at 7 o'clock. For head coach Travis Hill, defensive coordinator Steve Craver, and for LJ and PJ, Latavia Johnson and P.J. Wallace.
P.J. Wallace, yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us here on the first contest of the season, the Rougher Coaches Show from Runts Barbecue. We'll see you live at Runts next Tuesday night. Till then, it's always a great day to be a Rougher.